If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Let's talk about this new Denzel album, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, Denzel Curry, his new album that I was very excited about. We got a couple of singles leading up to this. I'm talking about Walking, I'm also talking about Zeruichi, and I'm also talking about Trouble with T-Pain. So, that kind of gave us a taste of what this album was gonna be, and I thought that this thing was gonna be this really grand and just epic next iteration in his career, because Denzel Curry is coming off of a very strong discography. After really blowing up through obviously the Ultimate Meme, he then kind of doubled down on his seriousness as an artist by dropping albums like Taboo and also Zoo, and then also that Kenny Beats collaboration Unlocked, and all of those albums were quality wise top tier and cemented his spot as one of hip-hop's front men in terms of what it means for this new generation to actually make some meaningful music. So Denzel Curry holds a very special place in my little hip-hop heart. So if going off of the singles that we got and also the music videos, if y'all watch my videos leading up to this album, y'all know that those played a huge role in my expectations for this album, because the videos for Walking and also Zeruichi, they were just grand. They were like Star Wars movie type of epic cinema movie experience, you feel me? And the fact that he had that budget and that effort that went into these videos is just insane. So I was expecting this to be this grand thing, as I already said, and in a lot of ways this is, but in a lot of other ways it also isn't. So let's talk about this album. So it has 14 tracks and spans across 45 minutes, so about an average length for an album. Now, we went into this kind of expecting some sort of theme or some sort of concept and narrative behind it, just going off of those music videos, but so far, listening to it a couple of more times now, I can't quite see it directly. He goes a lot like introspective on this album, very reflective, very not talking about from other people's perspectives and points of views like he did on Taboo, for example, but also rather just being himself and allowing the listener to see what is going on inside the mind of Denzel Curry, the person, and not the rapper. And that is what makes this album unique. I really like that. This is almost like a journey into his brain, but also there's no like deeper meaning behind all the connection between all these tracks. I mean, they have some nice transitions, and when you listen to it from top to bottom, which I would recommend, it seems like he actually sat down and was like, okay, how can we make this song transition nicely into the next one? How can it kind of like build up over time? That is there. I don't want to take away credit from that, but I'm just saying, going off of those videos, I feel like he gave us the best first, and I was hoping that we were only scratching the surface with those videos and singles so far, but it seems like that was actually not just the tip of the iceberg, but actually kind of like the best part of the iceberg, if you feel what I'm saying. But let's actually talk about this. As I already said, going a lot more introspective on these tracks, allowing us to enter his mind, what he's processing, what he's thinking about on his own time, what's going on in his mind. But as a result of this, a lot of the stuff that made his past records and discography stand out, like his very energetic, like complete, almost aggressive style, that is not here. When you listen back to even some of his best work on Taboo, almost every other track was that very hype, high intensity, double time rapping Denzel that also allowed him to break out and be unique among the South Florida rap scene. Don't get me wrong, that is a character trait of his style that has influenced him very much, but we don't see that a lot on here. Personally, I really don't have a problem with this. I actually think this is an evolution for the better, because y'all know me, I like if artists get introspective and kind of like take a more slower approach to it. This way I feel like a lot of the stuff that he's saying, that he's talking about, get conveyed more clearly and more confidently, but I get that a lot of fans probably won't like this development if they fell in love with that Denzel a couple of years ago. But I feel like there's also a part of him maturing on this record. record. So I guess this is like a double-sided sword. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Also, what's kind of sacrificed on here, which I didn't enjoy, was the storytelling. The storytelling on Taboo, for example, and parts of Zoo, also Unlocked for most parts of it, I think, now thinking back to it, was just amazing, and that really made him stand out. That kind of witty storytelling and taking the listener on like a, mental journey, that was not on here, as he was talking a lot about himself and what he's thinking and what his reflecting back on his career. But I guess we can see this as I said, as a stepping stone in his career, kind of now reflecting back on a lot of stuff that's happened, and then the next album can maybe be some of the more turn-up stuff again. I think that Denzel will be someone to do this. Now let's actually talk about the individual tracks. I've talked a lot about the overall theme on here, but what are my favorite tracks? I still think that Walking is a banger. The switch up that it has from the very clear, him getting his point across very, clearly, then switching to that trap double time style is still very amazing. I think The Last is probably also one of my favorite tracks on here. I just like this melodically as well, while a lot of the melodies got lost in a lot of the other stuff on here. Mental, another great track. Troubles with T-Pain, we got the track as well before as a single. Such a generic track. This could have been left off of here. I don't like that at all. Of course, Ain't No Way with all the appearances on here, just crazy. X-Wing, likely the best track on here. And then also, some highlights were also The Smell of Death, for example, a very short track, but him rapping at probably his best capability on here, which we've seen. That's kind of like a Unlocked type of track. So that's kind of my favorite tracks on here. But of course, go listen to this album from top to bottom. I think a very interesting piece in his discography, as I said, more so concerning his person instead of his rap persona. I think that is a very important distinction we have to make, but I hope that going from here, he can further, develop and evolve artistically and creatively in his career, and I think that will definitely be the case. Also on here, he raps about, Hove, or Jay-Z, dropped his first album at 26, and this dude is now 26, and kind of like he's reflecting on that, so I think that this dude has a lot more plans going into the future, especially in his career, just creatively as well. We saw him do all the movie shit as well for the music video, so I can see him venturing off into that as well. So this new album, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, pretty solid, missing a lot of the old Denzel Curry elements, but bringing a lot more new stuff to it as well. So pretty solid. It's pretty solid. That's kind of what I gotta say about this. Not mind-blowing, but pretty solid. So that's my thoughts on this. Now I want to know what you think about this. What's your favorite track? What's your least favorite track? What did you expect from this? Did those expectations and hopes then become reality? What do you think about this album in general? All of that, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.